Hi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bitch Sesh, the Real Housewives Breakdown Show.
I'm Casey Wilson.
I'm Danielle Schneider. We're your glorious host on this journey through the worlds of the Real Housewives.
And more a journey just through our lives.
We started just wanting to talk about Real Housewives, but somehow we're talking a lot about ourselves lately.
And Southern Charm and any other show in the canon of shitness.
Or greatness, depending on where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us. If you're tuning in for the first time, we hope you'll listen to our thoughts on the Real Housewives and all the sister shows, as I like to call them.
Speaking of sister shows, I am deep into Sister Wives.
Still right now? I have not tapped that.
My God. Okay, June and I are so involved in Sister Wives.
June Diane, friend of the show.
So involved in Sister Wives. Right now, it's so good because, as you may know from headlines,
from all the headlines, New York Times.
Well, the Atlantic wrote a great piece. Just kidding. On Cody's first wife, Mary, who was catfished online.
Honestly, hearing that sounds right to me. Like, of course she was.
It was just such a tiffy. And so we're in the thick of that. And there's a lot going on between Mary and Janelle. And that's another show. If people want to get into something, I would just start with this season. Don't go back.
Really? You don't have to go back?
Well,
have they had the makeover that you so desire them to have?
Okay. They have been doing a little more makeup, I'm noticing, and I'm so thankful.
Do you think they heard your call?
I've called for it so many times, like on every platform.
Yes, you have. I've been at like interviews with like legitimate newspapers where Casey's been like, okay, I want to talk about the world, but first, can these ladies get just a lip liner on?
Here's the thing. It sounds like I'm being like, oh, these ladies need to look better. No. The network needs to treat them better. They're nice-looking women. And let's just show them off a little, you know?
No, show their best assets.
As I said, they're living now in Las Vegas where their family had to flee.
And that sun beats down hard.
It beats Vegas. Down on them. So that Vegas sun is not meant for anyone with full makeup on.
No, it's
much
a
less.
Tough sun. Also, Florida's a tough sun. I've watched friends of mine that I've graduated age much quicker than myself, and I am not doing well either.
Well, you know, I put sunscreen on and, at 7 p.m. in California. We can't take any chances.
Ladies, don't. As women that are not millennials anymore, well, Casey still is.
I'm still hanging on.
As a woman who's not a millennial, take care of your skin.
Put it on your neck. Put it on your tops of your hands.
On your hands, girls. And hands give it all away.
Your left hand when driving.
Put it on the left side of your face, girls. I am noticing wrinkles on the left side there, not on the right.
It's very important.
Tough
Seriously.
stuff.
Our faces are our fortunes.
They're the windows to our world. You will not be let indoors without your gorgeous faces.
Anyway, Mary, Janelle, and the rest of the gang, they're...
Are they struggling?
Well, it's a struggle to watch them in a way, but it's like I'm lured in, but I feel so queasy. Mm-hmm. But I keep watching and it just gets queasier.
Now, have they invited any new ladies into their
Robin
forum?
Yeah,
okay.
Well, we started off with just
three right?
gals.
I remember them.
Sorry, yeah, 3 gals and Cody. As again, I've said many times, they believe the Brad Pitt of the Mormon world.
He is more of a Billy Ray Cyrus, but yes, sure.
He really is. Okay, we're gonna move on from Sister Wives, but then they did bring Robin along. I think I've said all this before, but I'm just gonna say it again.
I'm hearing it for the first time.
Okay, it was so sad when they brought Robin in because. Oh, God. David used to watch it with me, and we would laugh so hard because Cody was like, I love all women. And it's like his 3 women. I love Janelle's my favorite, the blonde. Mm-hmm. Like, they're like slightly overweight gals and they're a bit older, but very good looking and fun.
Is Robin a hot young thing?
Well, she was. And so Cody's like, I'm fine with who I have. And he's like, and I love everyone equally. And then he'd be like, Robin.
Of course.
Yeah, I was like, Cody, try to hide it a little bit more. He's like, I love them all equally. Meanwhile, he was like, put a stiff arm around his obese older wife.
Did he like flinch when he touches?
It's so dark. And then that, one of them got catfished online because someone was saying all the right things. And by someone, I mean a woman.
Oh, God. I used to watch Catfish, and I won't go down that hole, but
I did too. And I go to yoga with that guy
Nev.
I think he's so cute.
He's friends with a friend of mine.
And by go to yoga with him, I mean I saw him there once.
You You made it seem, I have to say, that you are.
I know.
Like your yoga partners, like you're stretching each other out before the class.
I didn't mean that. Literally, I saw him like spraying his mat down and we exchanged just like eye contact that nothing flashed in his eyes.
You really went out there and were like, we're best friends. He's coming over later.
I mean, I gave it away when I was like, Nev.
But still, you don't have to know someone to have a lot of conversations. I don't know anybody's names. I barely know yours.
If you watch Catfish, the movie, you can go back and see how much they filmed after the fact. Like the stuff with the actual catfishing woman is, devastating and just really heartbreaking, I felt.
That's dark.
But all the stuff where they're like, we're going to go out and find her is so clearly filmed after.
I felt that. I found Nev unlikable. I know you find him cute. I'm sure he's a terrific filmmaker.
Terrific at yoga.
A good friend to you, too. I'm sure he's a great friend.
He always is there for me.
Yes,
when I need him.
But I found it a bit sweaty. Like I felt like they
like the hot yoga class you go to.
Exactly. It seems fitting he would go to hot
yoga
since he's so sweaty. I enjoyed that hot yoga class too. The one I went with you, our friend Colin Farrell were there. I say our friend because he was there.
I forgot about
that time I went with you. Yeah, C. Farrell was there sweating right next to me.
Wow.
It did not look great.
God, we've blown through a number of topics we hadn't planned on.
But I know these came out of the blue.
But I mean, I think
we embraced them.
All worth it. And I'll take any info anyone has on Sister Wives. Okay, moving on. Danielle, you've been away.
We've both been away. My journey was to South Florida, homeland, motherland of Kyle by Alene Too, or really the original Alene Too. And guys, I had 4 short days in Florida, but I took myself and my child, a 2-year-old, to Alene Too. Actually, I made my sister and my child go in the toy store next door so I could have complete focus.
You needed
it. So I sent them away next door. And turns out Alene Too is, Casey, a walking distance from my house. Isn't that insane?
You lived so close to each other all this time. And you never knew each other.
It's like a romance.
Kismet.
It's a romance.
This is like You've Got
Gary
Mail.
Marshall film. More of a Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Still.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it's not high caliber, but it's still a romance nonetheless that I'll go watch. And
all this
time, it's like it was calling me. I've been meant to do this podcast. And so I was shocked when I was like, wait, it's in the Regency shops, which is like part of my neighborhood that I grew up in. So strange.
And all this time you never knew.
Never knew.
That's beautiful.
And I said to my mom, she was like, what? Oh, Alene Too? Yeah, it's been here forever. I was like, what?
And I'm just adjusting right now to your mom saying Alene Too.
I know that
I wanted to hear Kyle by, but then of course I realized
it was Alene Too. And guys, I have to say, it was not cultivated by Kyle, is what I felt. First of all, the big sign that you walk into, it just says Alene Too. On the door, it does say Kyle by Alene Too. And on the cards, it says Kyle by Alene Too. But the big sign is
I gotta stop you. I'm confused again. I thought we had settled this, that it was Alene Too. Why is Kyle now on that store?
Because I think...
Sorry to go back, guys.
I believe we have spoken of this, but I think Alene Too wanted to be associated with Kyle. And because
retroactively.
So retroactively, a Kyle was thrust upon it.
Okay, because I never got that from our initial discussions.
I can't remember where we are with.
Now you told me that you don't see Kyle's touch in the store, and that's actually making a little sense to me because she likes something that she could never be.
Yes, and this store I did not. I saw one caftan, just one, a lone caftan.
Oh wow!
And only one, maybe a. I don't know that I saw a shoulder.
No, what do you mean?
Not a shoulderless shirt.
They all had shoulders?
They all had shoulders. And I'm going to say...
Did you look around?
Oh, I perused. I went in. I looked. I took a picture or two. I'll show them on Instagram for the youngins. But I'm going to say...
You got to get that shit on Snap.
Yeah, on Snapchat. Guys, I can't even begin Snapchat. My niece taught me it, and I had a dog face and a tongue. It was very strange.
I have rainbows.
You millennials.
Rainbows.
Yes, you millennials with your dog.
I don't know if I can go there with the millennials. This one might separate the millennials from the
true
boys.
Millennials from the ones just hanging on. Yeah, I don't need a dog tongue. I know.
Okay, Grandma.
But I know. I literally turned very Jewish and old. I was like, I don't need a dog tongue. But it was... dare I say, cute. There was like an equipment tee. Yeah, or like a shirt, like a Page denim. Like
really?
Like brands I had heard of.
What was the age range?
Yeah, it felt, even in Boca Raton, Florida, it felt like it had some young stuff. But I didn't see a housewives book. I didn't see like a
pillow. Did you see like pillows?
No.
Knick-knackery?
No knick-knackery at all.
Huh.
So it felt different than the one that we know. And here's the shock. There were lots of people in the store.
In the toy store next door?
No. In Kyle by Alene Too. So much so that it took time to get the attention of like the main shop girl.
Wow. Okay, well this is why Kyle
likes it.
Jumped on, and I'm sure.
And she just doesn't have whatever is special about Alene Too. Kyle couldn't bring to Beverly Hills.
But it sounds like Alene Too felt like they needed to bring on this name.
Yes, I guess to get that crowd, like the crowd that likes the show in.
Do you feel that anyone else there was going because of Kyle? Or were they there for the Alene
I couldn't tell, and that's a good question. I did not ask anyone. So it felt like they were Boca women. Like it felt like there is a specific Boca woman. And they are bejeweled and a leathery tan.
Seems like they might want an off the shoulder, and maybe they need to rethink their merchandise.
There was a store that felt more Kyle by Alene Too in the shopping center as well. That did have some shoulderless and some caftans. Wow. And felt a little bit older. This actually,
in some ways, this is clearing up a lot, but in some ways, the mystery continues.
Deepens. And I said to the shopkeeper, shoppy keep.
You called her a shop girl earlier, like the Steve Martin novel.
I wanted to make it sound classier than it was.
This is like Carol.
Guys, know that it's pretty low rent. All of it's pretty low rent. But it was, I said, hey, who's Alene? Who's Alene? She was like, what? I was like, who is it based on? Like, was there ever an Alene? And she was like, yeah, but she's been gone a long time. So I said, but you kept the name? Yeah, they kept it. Like, she had no time for me because she was busy.
Wow.
And so she did, she didn't really want to answer. She said what we've all kind of know, which is there was an Alene. We don't know who she is.
Or where she is.
I
told you I've been...
Under the floorboards of the store, perhaps.
Telltale heart. It's just Aileen's heart beating. I told you I've been getting really into true crime and novels, and I gotta tell you, this one's just following the same structure. I think at the end of this we might have a
do I dig up the
tough situation on our hands.
Yeah. I mean,
are they cemented a pool in the back?
Or is she buried somewhere and her grave is dug up 2 years from now and it becomes a Netflix documentary? I don't know.
Yeah, something's going on.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you for going on that sojourn.
Yeah,
for
I
us.
went. Yeah. Dragged my daughter and my sister into it, but I think
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Now, you also had some stuff happen.
Yeah, I have. I've been away. I was in New York for Vulture Fest. They did a Happy Endings reunion, which was very fun. And the night before that, I was lucky enough to, and by lucky, I mean I paid quite a bit to see Hamilton, which I was so excited for.
Everyone loves.
I mean, it's the show, to get tickets is very difficult, and we had great seats.
It just won the Pulitzer?
That's correct.
Yes.
And I believe basically a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, I think so.
quite possibly.
Yeah.
And, we got a babysitter. This was like our anniversary night out, and we went and saw it, and I was so excited. And it's horrible. You heard it here first. And I want to say something. Now, I really feel like I'm really vulnerable here.
You are. Putting yourself out there like this is...
I just want to be honest with everyone because I feel like I've been honest about Southern charm and like all the things that I love. And I actually have some highbrow tastes that have not made their way into this forum. But I love musicals. I do, Danielle.
Casey loves musicals like she knows every musical.
I love Stephen Sondheim. I know. I love every type of musical.
Even Weird, Hard, Next to Normal, I believe you.
I love them all.
Yes.
And so I had seen Fun Home last year, and which was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. I love a musical. I mean, I am obsessed. So I entered into this with such high hopes I cannot even describe to you, only to be laughing out loud at points. I had to cover my laughter. halfway through, I started watching the rest of the audience watch it, and that was so much more entertaining, watching old white people literally doing an overbite and like, oh, so excited to watch people rapping. It was the saddest, and the rhyme schemes were so basic. And I saw people like squealing with glee. I have an example of a rhyme.
Okay, let me
Danielle,
hear.
this is what they literally all sounded like. It was like, the lady doth protest too much. It's time for a duel and stuff, motherfucker. That was every single line. It was so simplistic, so silly, such an Eminem ripoff. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I'm watching people. The choreography was like them like taking chairs and like wheeling them over their heads slowly. It was a history. It should have toured high schools for a 45-minute show about Hamilton. Not even high schools, middle schools.
Middle school?
Yeah. And that would have been a great place for it.
Instead,
and I know I'm alone and I'm going to get blowback. And
no, as my husband,
I stand strong.
My husband who's been on this podcast.
He's come out of the closet.
He has come out of the closet very loudly and said that he has not seen it. That said, he has not.
And I respect him even more
doesn't
for
know
it.
A song, doesn't know a word. Just has decided he hates it. So he's
a visionary. He's always been ahead of his time. Your husband founded the UCB Theater.
Yes, he did.
knows of what he speaks despite having never seen it. I will tell you, it was so embarrassing at points. We were crying with laughter. Truly. It was just old white people being like, they're rapping.
It sort of reminds me, I used to be in a little improv group. We also toured middle schools and bar mitzvahs. So
I'm telling you, this would have been a great one.
And we used to have to come out and sing the blues and improvise the blues.
That's so hard.
And I was terrible at it, but we'd always have to be like, I got the umbrella, I got the bar mitzvah blues, got them down to my shoes, like just like making them.
Ooh.
That was me right there, guys.
Better than that.
And it's the way you speak of it reminds me of the blues.
Those days. And here's the thing, June and I actually did a show with the main guy at Aspen. Like our shows ran together, and he was in this kind of Shakespearean improv group called Freestyle Love Supreme.
Were they rapped?
They did, and it was amazing. And they're amazing at that, 100%. To improv Shakespeare is no easy feat. I could never do it. So technically it was a huge feat.
Okay.
What I saw, it was embarrassing. And I know this is controversial and I want to apologize if I'm breaking hearts. Go back and listen to it. I dare you to find a melody, except for when the King came out. Love the King.
Was it Jonathan Groff or his?
No, I had a new King.
And Groff. I mean, more than taking
Didn't
a yoga
love the
class
women.
with.
The best
Schuyler sisters.
Oh Lord,
What?
guys, come on! Everyone's like they're like Destiny's Child. It's like not really.
Oh, wow, they don't even get at that.
I mean, the main woman is the female parts were so bad. And then I love that we're like celebrating this guy who cheated on his wife publicly, and then she went back with him and then was like at his bedside when he died. And I'm like, is he going to continue to cheat on her in heaven?
Oh, wow.
It was so stupid, guys. Listen to Eminem, then put on Hamilton, and you will bow your head in embarrassment. You'll be alone and you'll feel flushed.
Wow, strong words from Casey.
Again, I find the writer incredibly talented. It's a huge feat. I'm not saying I could do it. I could never write a musical, so all of that I give it up for.
No, you just wrote a rap.
Yeah, I did. I did.
So I don't know. Don't take your hat out of that ring quite yet.
Yeah. I also thought he was doing a bit of an Adam Rapp impression. Okay, moving on.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how this is going to go over. Actually, the Mills are probably like, what?
No, the Mills are into this show.
Really?
The Mills are
People were like hooting and hollering after one line.
No, the Mills are into this show.
It's like when I used to be with Rent, but
I used to be that way with Rent
like
too.
Rent is better.
No, but Rent is not good now. If you listen to it, you're like, yeah, pay your rent.
Pay it. Just pay it.
Like, who do you think you are that you can't pay your rent?
Oh, yeah, because now I'm thinking of the one really bad song.
We're not
That was like, we're not gonna pay.
Yeah.
We're not gonna pay.
But can I tell you, as like 18-year-old watching that, I was like, yeah, we're not gonna pay our rent. And now I'm like, no, you have to fucking pay your rent. Nothing is free.
Can I tell you a quick story and then I'm moving on?
We'll get to the Real Housewives, guys. We promise.
This is a funny story about Rent. I was so obsessed to a level that was scary that I went down. I lived in DC, also went to the same high school with the director of Hamilton. Moving on. Who's lovely. So I would go down to the National Theater with a couple girlfriends and we would stand in line for those like $20 tickets, the lottery. And I was like, I'm living. And I became so obsessed. So I saw this one show, and the guy that played Mark on the national tour was out, and he had a substitute, so an understudy.
Okay.
And I got it in my little head, and I think this is pretty smart. I was like, I just want to like get close to anyone in this show. I was like, I'm gonna write him a letter and say that I'm writing for my paper in my town, because I preyed upon. Oh God, no. God, no. I preyed upon his weakness as an artist, which is like, I'm the understudy. I never get a claim.
No, who would want me?
I knew that the psychology of that, having never like
smart
done anything but, sounding music at my high school. It's horrible. So I wrote him a letter and I said, look, I'd love to interview you for the town's paper, the Alexandria Gazette. He calls
Not
me.
even your school paper, your town paper?
Town paper. And I didn't even work on the school paper. So I left the letter at the stage door and I'm like, you have to get this to. And, I'm not going to say his name, but. So I get a call because my parents had like a downstairs line and we had an upstairs line, and it rang and it was him, and he left a message. He was like, I'd love to do an interview. I was like, my life is starting. I am alive. I like, even now it's a thrill. So the night that he could do it was the night before the SATs. And I drove downtown in my dad's car. He was a horrible driver. Drove all the way.
And you had the SATs the next morning that would actually start your future.
Correct.
Wow.
Drove. Had the rent tape in the car, picked him up because he didn't have a car because they were touring. We drove to a bar, and
were you playing the rent tape while he was in the car?
It turned on when I turned the car on.
Casey, this is the worst story I've ever heard.
That part was the toughest, for sure.
Remember that story where you shit the bed? This is worse.
It was really bad. Yeah. It was like 500. Oh, I was like, no. We go to the restaurant.
Millennials, we had things called tapes. Anyway, go.
Millennials. I was driving a Sierra. Anyway, so now we're in the restaurant, and I had brought with me a tape recorder that my friend's mom gave me, who knew this plan. Okay. And I had tried to dress like a journalist with kind of like a blazer. And
did you have like a press hat?
I was gonna wear a fedora, and my friend's like, "What are you doing? Too much." So I had a camera too with me that didn't have film in it, but it clicked. So I was like, this is fine.
So you were pretending to take pictures?
Yes, pretending to take pictures and
this is so dark.
Put the tape on, but I didn't put the tape on. But what I decided I was going to do was, I was like, I am going to write up the article for the school paper. We're getting to the end of this. I had like 1 to 2 margaritas. I was completely wasted. And he just goes, look, are you in high school? It was humiliating. And this is after I'd taken photos of him like in front of a thing where I'd like made him get different angles and stuff. And I know everyone's like, what's the goal of this? Did I want to date him? Not even really. I did.
You wanted to be close to him, to touch the fame of Rent.
I wanted to touch the hem of his garment, and so then I was so drunk I hadn't turned the tape recorder on. So I couldn't
you were wasted. You were driving.
The day before the SATs. I drive home. I remember waking up the next day and being like, this is my first hangover. And I scored on the SATs in the math section. Basically, my dad told me it was the equivalent of just putting my name.
Oh no, Casey.
Guys,
was it worth it?
Yes. That's such a sad story, and I feel really bad. And I did want to write the
But that's how much she loves musicals, guys.
But I couldn't remember anything, and that's how much I love musicals. So when I say that I thought Hamilton was embarrassing, I feel bad.
Did you write an article? No.
Well, I hadn't pressed play on the tape recorder. There was nothing on it. I was drunk. I had nothing. And that's a regret. That is a regret.
I feel like
he was really sweet. And I came clean to him.
When? You called
when he asked, he said, you're in high school. And I told him I was.
But did you clean that there was no article?
No.
That there was no film in the camera?
No, none of that. So much. We'll blow through just 2 news stories. Well, actually, you wanted to talk about your plane ride home.
I will just say real quick, and I'll keep it brief, but guys, I took a long plane ride home from Fort Lauderdale, and I always have on this show said I will never watch some shows on Bravo. I'll watch anything on Bravo, but I'll never watch Below Deck. And guys, sometimes it's late at night.
Yeah.
You're with a 2-year-old, and you turn on Below Deck, and I liked it.
Did you have a glass of wine?
No, I was completely sober.
Wow. You were tired.
I was tired. I was running on fumes.
You were below deck.
I was below deck. Mentally and literally. Emotionally, figuratively.
Sexually and financially.
Sexually, financially, everything below deck. And I enjoyed myself. I couldn't tell you a name of a person, but they're in the Mediterranean Sea. And
is it a big ship? How do they film? Did it feel claustrophobic?
No, I
felt great.
I will say I felt more claustrophobic this week on Real Housewives, but we'll get into that.
We're getting into the bottle episode.
Yeah, oh gosh, but no, it was fun. They frolic. There's drama. There's new guests.
Frolic.
There's new guests every week. Some of them are trash. Some of them are millionaires. They're basically like people renting a yacht, and you get some real rich people, and it's the drama that goes on below deck.
I was genuinely wondering. I was like, Wow.
And I enjoyed it. So
are you gonna watch again?
I think I might. I just want to see where it goes. I'm invested. I watched like 4 in a row.
And are they sleeping together?
There is sexual chemistry. There were some people that were and it is like close quarters. So like
they're below deck.
Yeah, I saw literally a boner at one point through a pants of like a black
what?
and white. Like,
what are you saying?
Just like a couple that wanted to like hook up and like
what, Danielle?
Yes.
Wait, they're showing boners on television?
In pants boner.
I know I'm a mill, but
you were shocked. Yeah, it was
really
pretty intense. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it felt very
titillated.
Yeah, I was. I definitely was. Found myself like, like more turned on than I ever have in a Real Housewife.
More turned on than Sister Wives.
Oh yeah, even when the young one comes on.
Wow.
But yeah, so guys, I don't know. I found myself in a strange place.
You really dipped your toe into those waters.
Yes, I did. We could have a lot of fun with water analogies here and water, but yeah, it was a journey, and I'm on the ride on that boat.
Wow, great.
Yeah, so there you go.
Great.
I will not watch People's Couch.
I will never watch People's Couch.
I refuse to watch People's Couch.
Or après ski.
Après ski. I could see myself dipping my toe into the snow.
Hey, you know what? You might want to go from the
sun to the snow, the sand to the ski basin.
Yeah. Wow. Well, in Orange County news, really quickly, if you guys haven't seen them, please look at the photos of one Tamara Barney having won a fitness competition. It's essentially a bodybuilding competition.
Yeah, she's a bodybuilder now. She is muscled up, eating weird things. It's strange.
It's so strange, and it's not. It's unexpected and yet not. But it did take me by surprise.
I didn't know it was coming, and I follow her. But you know, I don't follow her closely enough, I guess. And again,
was that something that happens that you would get into late night I said late night, but it is late night for her.
Yes, late night of her life. You mean?
The winter of her.
She goes sadly into that fair night.
She slips. Long day's journey into night. No, I just mean, is that something that happens that later in life you suddenly say to yourself, I think I'll become a bodybuilder? Like it happened
to Steve Guttenberg. Mills, he was in Cocoon. I feel like he became like a late in life. Am I making this up?
I never heard Steve Guttenberg was a bodybuilder, but
maybe he just got big. I don't know. I might be making that up. I do think it's a late in life thing. I think it's a midlife crisis thing that can happen.
I think so too. I think it's like everything I thought was coming, maybe career wise, or I've had the kids I'm gonna have, and suddenly it's like, what else can I do but
get strong and tough and full of muscles?
It's so strange. And Eddie's standing there smiling so proudly. Now, I've always had my suspicions about Eddie's sexuality.
Yes, you have. And these only sort of start to confirm them a little bit. I am just worried about cut fitness.
Oh, tell what someone sent us.
Oh, some love you listeners. Thank you guys so much. Someone lovely sent us, and her name was Shira. Her name is Shira Peel, Piell. That's her Instagram name. And she got married this weekend. Congratulations, Shira. And one of her girlfriends wrote, I guess they had like a Jenga tile thing where you write things, congratulations on the Jenga tile. And her lovely friend wrote, just like a business, I want this marriage to survive, or what did I say? Succeed. Sorry. Just like a business, I want this marriage to succeed. And that truly made me so happy.
It's so thrilling.
Yes.
It really is.
So thank you for sending us that. And I too want a marriage to succeed.
You really do.
As I have said many times.
But don't you think that Tamara bodybuilding could help a business to succeed? You would
hope, but she isn't mentioning, she's not like hashtagging Cut Fitness in any of this. So it's not like I did this at Cut Fitness.
I did read that she said she did a lot of cardio at Cut Fitness.
I did not see that article.
Wow.
But maybe I'm not, again, I haven't I just started.
It's on
to
this
become
weird
aware of
site,
this.
Reality T. Is that something
Reality
real?
T. I've checked them out many times.
Okay, by the way, just realizing now it's reality. In my head, I've been saying it reality T.
It happened as well.
Oh man, guys, we're learning so much.
Because the tea, that's the thing I learned from Real Housewives of Atlanta. When you're giving someone that's another shade. It's like shade, and it's the tea.
I'm getting it all. And so much
I
is
knew
coming together.
But I didn't realize the play on words. I thought it was reality. And now saying it out loud, I don't see how I saw it any other way. But guys,
and there was never any cause before to say
maybe I haven't said it out loud.
Off-brand gossip
but
website.
Shout out
aloud.
to Reality.
Yeah,
clever name.
Very clever.
Wish I had gotten it earlier.
and speaking of Atlanta, Cynthia and Peter have filed for divorce.
Not a shock. That marriage has. Anytime someone renews their vows, I've said this a lot. When you renew your vows, you're getting divorced. It happens every. I
think I've ever heard you say that.
I feel like I've said it, or maybe I've thought it to myself. Anytime Ramona and Mario, Vicky and Dawn. I think Tamara and that evil man Fletcher, the what that Fletcher Jones per se, Simon.
Yeah, Simon.
She got that weird tattoo of him on her wedding ring. Remember that? She got that. It doesn't help.
Did Nene and Greg renew vows?
They got divorced and then got remarried.
Okay,
So there
that
you
seems
go.
legit.
That's like a legit thing.
That seems good.
You love Nene or you leave Nene or you come back. Also, a shout out to another listener of ours that sent us the cutest thing ever. Really quick, guys.
Yeah.
J Roro 8. Her 4-year-old daughter did a drawing of what she thinks Casey looks like and I look like. I have to say it's quite accurate.
It really is.
We've never looked better.
We look
Casey
gorgeous.
is taller than me in the photo.
That's true.
And she just wrote, my 4-year-old drew a picture of, quote, the 2 girls you like in the stories on your phone.
I love that. Stories on your phone is like, my grandma used to listen to her stories and watch her programs and her stories.
And now we're your stories. It's
sad.
the world turns. So let's.
Wow. Are we skipping Dallas or should we?
No, it's going into Dallas. We have to because we were shamed into talking about Dallas, guys.
We got a letter and I believe it came through the mail.
Yes, like someone was like put pen to paper.
And basically an earwolf sent it to us and it said, guys, love the podcast, but basically you must start covering Dallas.
And then Greg Bennett as well shamed us.
Yeah, as he should have.
As he should have. And it's like, girls, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Guy came up to me at dinner last night. Literally, I was just sitting with 2 girlfriends. He just walks up the table and he's like, hey. And he like puts he was very nice and very funny. But he puts his phone in my, basically in my face. And he's like, I just texted my friend Penny, for I guess my character name for Happy Endings. He's like, Penny's here at dinner. And then the friend writes, and then he's like, and she's like, who's Penny? I was like, well, okay.
Okay,
but
thank you.
Just trying to eat. And then he goes, oh, why do you keep leaving the podcast? You just started. And I was like, what? I have to work, even though I was on vacation last week.
Still, you need a break and you have been working.
But then he was like, you need to cover Dallas and walked out. I was like, he packed a punch.
I know. We've been hearing it from listeners and we're sorry. I just wasn't enticed at the beginning, but we have caught up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We are caught up.
Well, I have one more, but I've seen all of them except for one now. And I gotta say, I'm loving it.
You
were
like
right.
it. There are highs and lows. Mm-hmm. Leanne is a trip. Leanne is a trip down crazy lane.
Yeah, she is.
A lot of blush on Leanne.
Her hair is too black for camera. And I've had that problem myself. I've had to put a highlight in because it appears blockish.
Yeah, and it appears brittle.
And goth.
Yes, which worked for the weird goth barbecue that a crazy person had. What's her name again?
Now, she is like something in the air. Like, I can't remember her. I can't remember her face. Every time she appears on screen, it's like a completely new experience for me.
Yes, because she dresses like a character all the time. She came one time dressed as a rapper. Was she ever?
Oh, you're talking about her.
Oh,
okay.
no, you're thinking that other woman.
I'm thinking of the one who's married.
The tall, thin one?
To the guitar player.
Oh, no.
See?
Yes, I don't remember her name either.
The girl with the guitar player who threw that strange party and was wearing that pompadour.
Oh, yes. The biggest pompadour I'd done ever seen.
It was so sad. It was like, I'm a rocker's wife.
Yeah.
And when he was getting his hair cut.
Oh.
And she's like, rockers are all about their hair. It's like,
that was so sad.
And she's like, we're throwing this charity event for the kids.
Rocking out to his party.
She's like, it's for the kids. And then she goes, and I really hope my husband like makes it, basically.
Yeah. You know, they're a tough couple. I do believe they love each other. They have their love, if nothing else. And then, of course,
you're talking about Heidi. Sorry,
yes,
the blonde. Whatever she is.
She's the charity maven. She's the one that
you wouldn't know it to see her.
No, she's strange at best.
She strolled down the street wearing that. Was it a yellow jersey and like a gold money chain?
I didn't know what to make. Heads or tails?
It's truly the most shocking outfit I've seen on the Real Housewives franchise.
And we've seen some stuff.
Yes, and we saw Sonia tonight in a top hat.
Yes, from a haberdasher. and we've seen Phaedra wear her ass out
and a
net cover up that covered nothing. Our eyes have seen things.
Yeah.
And I still was shocked both outfits that she wore. Even at her goth party, she looked dead. And I know that she has some
harsh comments. I thought it was pretty crazy at the lunch where she was talking about the girl who's married to the plastic surgeon.
Oh, I can't stand her.
I can't either.
Her and her husband
make me sick.
Having torturing those nurses with their relationship every day.
While someone's getting the fat sucked out of them.
It was awful.
Those two are standing around like, you better give me a blowjob tonight, honey. And she's like, I will.
That conversation was sickening.
And then there's other people literally like, you can just see their eyes over their masks as they're like draining blood into a...
Oh, there was a bucket of blood. She's just like, better get my birthday blowjob. Blood being drained out of a thigh.
She's like cutting open someone's breast, and she's like, I can't believe I gotta get on my knees tonight. And the rest of the nurses and doctors are just like, leave us out of it.
People die during plastic surgery all the time. One, Joan Rivers, Kanye West's mother.
Donda.
Who?
Donda.
That was her name? I'm so sorry. Thank you for knowing her name. But, I mean, people die during these surgeries. This is surgery. Pay attention.
Allow me a quick sidebar.
Yes, please.
Have you heard Kanye's song Only One? After I had my son, I cried hysterically listening to it on repeat for 2 days about Donda and his daughter North. Okay, moving on.
No, I did not. I haven't.
It's a crazy auto tune to it, so you have to get past that. And I know that's a lot to get past.
It's a lot
to ask.
That's a lot to ask of people.
Guys, if you want to cry, just listen to Only One. Okay.
But anyway,
I hate her
it's
too.
A real thing, and pay attention.
Pay attention. I love how like they're trying to act like they're so breezy and fine with it.
It's a real surgery.
But I did think it was crazy when Heidi, when she was in the rapper outfit, was talking about that woman, and she's like, "Oh, I know how she got there from being on her knees." Oof.
Dark stuff.
And it does seem she's right from everything the other woman says about herself.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't shock me, but at the same time, her husband's a disgusting person.
And let me ask you, Danielle, did one of them cheat on their former spouses? Because that's what it feels like in all the testimonials. Am I wrong about that?
I'm not sure.
Because in her testimonial, she's always like unprompted, like, yeah, guys, we're together. Get used to it. And it's like, he cheated on his wife for you.
I think he did. And I think she's like, yeah, it's no shocker. Get over it.
It's like great attitude, sweetie.
Yeah,
she's like,
there's no remorse for being like, yeah, it's not great. At least something. Eileen has the proper amount of remorse on Beverly Hills for what seems to be.
This one's like, hey, bitches, we've been together 6 years. I think it's a good relationship. It's like, there's probably families in your wake.
People were broken. There were children there. Like, fine, you guys were in love. Maybe it wasn't a great situation, but the people...
Show a little compassion and don't
were broken.
Talk about going down on someone while you're draining
blood from a boob. Also, Stephanie's husband looks like Josh Brolin and a monster combined. Just going to put that out there.
That's the blonde.
No, yes. Yeah. Yes. Now, they do seem to be in love, but she's in love with a monster.
He is a monster.
He's lovely to her. It's Beauty and the Beast.
The blonde? The one
No.
that's always ordering her around?
He loves her. I'm not saying their relationship works for them.
Yeah.
He loves her.
Yeah.
As opposed to he gives her attention. It's not my relationship. It's not the one I want, but she seems to like
What's
it.
going on with that ginger couple?
Oh, the gingies.
Oof.
Oh, the gingies.
It's darkness there.
It really is. I did see he apologized though.
But it was literally the most robotic, unsexy. He's possibly the most unsexy man on earth.
Yeah.
They met for lunch in the middle of the day. He's like, I'm sorry.
I feel like they
felt that way.
Every meal they have is in broad daylight. So, and I'm like, is there not a nighttime in Texas?
He's like, she'll take Cabernet.
Yeah, he's the worst. How does he have money? Like, what does he do for a living? He's
always
no
traveling.
charm. But
seems like he's just like crouched hooking up computers.
But then how does he make all that money?
I don't know.
They do have cute children, those little redhead, but enough Bravo with the funny moments with the kids. Like, like that's, how they always do those little like
save it for in the motherhood.
Yeah, it's like I don't need this, and I don't know, like those two, but they're dark. I don't
think they're going the long haul.
No, I feel like we see a marriage rekindle ceremony in our near future.
It seems like they're gonna have renewed their vows on the golf course.
Yeah, I see that in their future. He reminds me of who? Someone reminded me of Don. Oh, Leanne's boyfriend reminds me of Don.
Who's Don?
Don from Orange County, Vicky's old beau.
Oh, D-O-N.
Yeah, sorry. D-O-N. Don of
God,
Don and Vicky. He reminds me of sort of quiet, like, why don't you get along?
just like
words of wisdom, but just like quiet and sort of like settled in. Like, oh, this is my girl. She's bananas. Like, she's a kook.
But then, like, in 5 years, we'll have like mirrored sunglasses on.
Yeah.
From the reality.
Yes.
And be like, I got a publicist.
Oh, Don.
Oh, Don.
Oh, Don.
Wow, we are almost at the end of our podcast, and yet we have not spoken about New York, and there's so much to say. I guess we shall just keep going.
We'll just keep going, guys.
Okay.
You guys keep requesting it to be longer, so we're,
Here we go.
Your wish is our command.
Have you heard of Ibotta? Ibotta, that's I-B-O-T-T-A, Ibotta. It's the hottest app that puts cash in your pocket for everyday shopping. No coupons or remembering promo codes. Instead, you gotta Ibotta.
Download the Ibotta app to earn cash on groceries, apparel, electronics, beer, wine and spirits, restaurants, and more. Just unlock, shop, and get cash.
Download Ibotta free from the App Store and get $10 just for trying it when you enter in the code HOUSEWIVES. $10 free. Ibotta for cash back every time you shop. You've got Ibotta.
Third Love's 24/7 t-shirt bra is the most comfortable bra I've ever owned. And it's made out of super soft memory foam that molds to your shape and truly gives me the perfect fit.
They stand behind this product so much that they're willing to let our listeners try this bra for free for 30 days.
If you love it, keep it, and they'll charge your card.
If you don't love it, send it back. Your card will not be charged.
Just start your free trial now at thirdlove.com/housewives.
New York. Before we get into the episode, Danielle and I would like to read a scene from tonight's episode that we dutifully transcribed.
As it was going, we were like, this is the best scene we've ever seen.
Even before we heard the end of it, we were transcribing it. And the end was better than we could have even guessed. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Oh, it was amazing. It was beautiful. This was poetry.
The players are Luann, who will be played by Danielle.
Hello.
Oh, I didn't know Luann was already here.
She's here right now.
And Jules Weinstein.
Who will be played by Casey Rose Wilson.
Hey.
That was great.
Thanks.
So we start...
Just to set the scene for anyone who hasn't seen this. These women have been all locked in a house in the Berkshires.
It feels like an Agatha Christie novel.
Or like Noises Off or a British farce.
No one's allowed to leave.
And they've been there for what feels like hours, but we're told by Bravo was an hour and a half.
At this point, it feels like forever.
Basically, Bethany has bitched out Luann to such a shocking level and called her a slut and shamed her.
And at the same time, Jules got a phone call saying that her father was possibly dying.
So now you have Luann outside sitting on a curb smoking a cigarette.
No, Jules talking on the phone to maybe a medical professional.
Or her husband about her father again, who is dying.
And Luann.
And Luann joins. Let me just find my scene here.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready. Hi.
Jules.
Sorry. Okay, let's start again. Okay.
Jules.
Hi. I'm just calling my dad. The doctor's coming in 7 minutes.
Can I hang out with you? I don't know what to do. I can't stay here.
Like, he's not even coherent.
It's awful what she just did to me.
I feel bad. I can't even concentrate. My dad, he's not even coherent.
It's so hurtful.
You know what? I have to tell you something. There's bigger things in life. Please don't cry, Luann. Don't even worry about it.
I can't stay here.
Yes, you can. You can make it better. It's over and done with.
I can't make it better. So ugly.
Honestly, there's more problems in life. My dad's dying and I'm not even there. He has pneumonia and he doesn't sound right.
It was awful. What she said to me, I mean, she just attacks you. I'm tired of it. What did I do to her? Nothing.
Scene.
2 ships passing in the night.
No one's listening.
No. One woman is going through a real tragedy of life, passing of her father, and the other one called a slut. And yet, Luann makes it about her. It was profound.
Truly, really was. Guys, I have so many thoughts about this fucking Berkshires house. I like all the Santa decorations. It feels cozy, but it also feels something about it is
claustrophobic. I just was crawling out of my skin watching the episode because I wanted to see something else. I mean, every once in a while we would cut to Sonia at the vaginal rejuvenation clinic, and that was a breath of fresh air, especially when she came in that dressed like
Charlie
Chaplin.
I love that you said with a complete straight face, like, hey, I was getting claustrophobic in the house, but I'm really glad we got to just cut to Sonia getting her vaginal rejuvenation.
It's just a breath of fresh air. And I say that not ironically.
No, it was nice to cut to the vaginal rejuvenation.
It was just like, finally, something good is happening. Someone's getting something good as opposed to something bad. It was life as opposed to death. That house felt like death, and
it did.
And the
house feels very heavy to me. It jumps off the screen,
and it wasn't all the scary Santa decorations. It was just like the weight of it. And yes, it felt like midnight. We were like, but the sun was still shining.
It felt, and I know I always reference Clue, but it did feel like Clue. It's like they're all going to be brought together and told why they're being blackmailed.
And it was just them chasing each other around the house shouting.
And can Bravo take us to a better locale? Why do we have to spend so much time in this Berkshires house? This isn't the vacation I want.
I know. Why can't they go out for lunch?
A bar.
An
island. An island. Go to an island.
Yes, something. I know, the Berkshires house. We keep going back there. And it didn't feel like Christmas. Like the sun was out. I think I saw a palm tree. Like it was.
Well, we said multiple times what felt like 4 a.m. was 6:20 p.m.
Yeah. That's why Bravo was telling time stamping, because it was just, oh my God.
I mean, right off the bat, Bethany starts screaming at Luann with such a viciousness.
Yes.
She is, I think, has a real anger problem.
Yeah. Oh, she does.
I mean, I'm not saying anything we don't know.
She can't handle it when someone comes up against her, and Luann can't defend herself. That's why she wanted Dorinda to like go defend me.
But I've seen Luann take people downtown and be really, really nasty. Carol's a great example of it, but she won't come up against Bethany.
No, she won't.
She just started screaming at Dorinda like it was her problem. Everyone's so scared of Bethany. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, well, that's why it's like Bethany hasn't met her match. There's no one who can sort of like put her down. Whereas other seasons, it's like there's never really a top dog.
I think she knows that in her DNA, Carol's cooler than her, but she's still kind of subservient to her.
Yeah, I agree. And it also felt like Ramona was all over the place tonight, as was her dog Shit. Yes.
As were her extensions. Tame those flyaways.
Those were like, you know what needs a rejuvenation? Your fucking flyaways. Worry about your hair, then worry about a vagina. All you ladies.
Extensions were a foot too long And I actually want to say something now. I'm growing out my hair long and I'm doing it. I don't care. I do love long hair. And I'm someone who I'm fine with long hair, but her extensions sit just like
they look like Barbie doll hair.
I made those kale chips tonight.
Yeah, they were real crunchy.
Crispy,
they were delicious.
And just burnt flakes. And that's what her extensions look like. Kale chips atop 2 shoulders.
Kale chips atop 2 shoulders.
That's what her extensions look like. And with every passing minute, the flyaways get more and more crazy.
I would like to commission that young artist who drew Casey and I to draw kale chips upon 2 shoulders. So I rarely commission art, but I will pay good money.
I mean, this whole thing, Ramona was so giddy that she wasn't involved.
She hates Luann. So but she also loves to kind of like be a big sis to Luann and play like kind of Luann against other people.
And Luann has truly just become a truck driver. And we keep saying it. I feel like we're not saying anything new, but it's just everything about her is just...
She is... I don't know. But then she gets up on her high Connecticut horse, and I don't know who she is. And that's what Bethany is basically calling her out on. She's like, you are a piece of trash, but say you're a piece of trash.
Why does Bethany care?
Because Bethany can't not care. Bethany can't get out of other people's lives. She wants people to be who she wants them to be, and she gets mad when they're not who she wants them to be or when they're not consistent. She can't handle anything that just isn't what it is and what she needs it to be.
And I think there's a lot going on with Luann that we're not seeing.
Like what?
Well, I mean, they're making her out to be just this kind of boozy...
Yeah. She's turning into like a
sexual
a Bette Midler character. You know what I mean? Like it's strange.
I cannot wait for her line next week where what does she say in that preview? She's like, you're making a list and checking it twice. And you're taking me down, man.
Also, when she quoted her own song this evening, when she's like I say in my song, les chics c'est la vie. I was like, what? You cannot quote your own song that nobody listened to. That is not a famous quote. You are not quoting like Billy Joel. You are quoting yourself.
Everything. Every time she shows up, it's like someone will be like, "Oh, I like your top." She's like, "From my collection."
Oh, and I will say the jumpsuit that she wears in next week's previews is the worst jumpsuit I have ever. That red, I don't know, piece.
It's not worse than Eileen's denim, but it's bad.
I'd say it comes close. It doesn't. At least Eileen's denim, like it's a terrible jumpsuit, but it fit her well. This jumpsuit was like high waisted. I swear I saw camel toe. It was upsetting.
And Luann, when she pranced out tonight,
I saw her trout snatch.
Sonia was delivering some crazy lines tonight.
Sonia, as Countess
when Dr. George Lykeas, Likeas, the vaginal resurfacer, came out.
That name had so many eyes, I couldn't even count them.
And Sonia said the only thing worse than trout mouth is trout snatch. I was taken aback.
God bless Sonia.
Sonia. That was so shocking. I mean, when she was talking to the doctor and flirting with him and being like, "Oh, is it going to hurt?" Because when they pound you from the side,
she says things I can't imagine saying. She literally said, "They lay you on your side, then they want to keep going and going." Like what?
It's like because she's dating the elders who are on, Viagra.
They are pounding the fuck out of that trout snatch, and it is worn to bits. I believe.
That trout snatch is blasted to bits. It's a crumbling down mansion, just like her Park Avenue house.
I agree. It is a crumbling down
with interns and
interns wandering in and out,
dog shit running around, and
dog piss
and dog ashes.
It is, and I don't say this because of her age, because we're all
creeping.
We're all creeping. None of us can avoid it, but I just say because they're old men pounding at that lady.
Then they're knocking at death's door.
They're knocking at death's door because that trout snatch is death's door on.
That was a shock. That was really, really.
It was tough to hear, but again, I'd still rather hear that than like a timestamp of like it's only 3:40. It's only been 45 minutes in the Berkshires,
and everyone in the Berkshires kept yelling about who was quote unquote screwing who, which is just such a kind of old, gross way to take it. It's like, I was screwing him and you were screwing her. Oh, the best was why does Dorinda go from 0 to 100 and she just feels like if she cries?
But everybody backs down when Dorinda cries. Everybody backs down when Dorinda cries.
But Dorinda does a like Kate Blanchett cry scream that is
does.
so horrifying. When she took the bottle and shook it at Luann of like iced vodka, I jumped back and she goes, I wanted it to be nice. I was alarmed.
It was. That was like Steel Magnolias when Sally Fields is
Yes,
like crying over Julia Roberts, like, I want to know why. That was the exact cry, the timbre of the cry.
Well, and you said it's like, the birthday cake that Dorinda's mom bought, left, made. I'll tell you, Dorinda doesn't want you to talk about mommy or John.
No, nobody. Dorinda has a lot of rules. Also, the ladies of the Real Housewives have always been a little bit delusional about their biological clocks. I remember when, I'm going to say sweet Sonia thought she was or was it Ramona thought she was pregnant 2 years ago?
Who else thought they were, and it was so shocking? I'm trying to think if it wasn't Atlanta.
I don't know, but it was.
Was it like Vicky? Like there was someone that it was such a shock. It's like no,
honey.
And look, I too, I'm right there. But it's like,
and it'll come. Menopause is again coming for all of us, but I'm not gonna think.
Well, tonight, Bethany asked Dorinda genuinely, like, do you think John thinks you guys will be together forever? And Dorinda's like, yeah, I mean, I think he even thinks we're gonna have babies together. And they cut to Bethany, whose eyes bugged out of her head.
Popped out of her head.
It was just the...
And it is. It's just like, ladies, let's just get together about where we are in our lives and what our bodies can do. And I know that science has made some things possible. And maybe you frozen eggs.
Maybe you've had your trout snatch resurfaced.
Maybe you've resurfaced it like a paved street. But it doesn't mean a baby's coming out of that snatch.
I think the real loser of tonight was Len, the housekeeper, who we saw scuttling about. Scuttling about in the background.
like dodging cameras.
I would see her like a flash that just went by.
I thought it was a ghost at some point.
Yes. And she was,
is Len a ghost?
She was going upstairs and then reappearing in different doorways and handing out tea. And she looked so scared. I saw her run out of a frame once.
Oh, yeah. Poor Len.
Poor Len. And then I saw that the table was still set for dinner. I'm like, we haven't even got to dinner yet.
I know you were like, did we even get lunch? There was, I think, a salami plate. I remember seeing some like charcuterie.
Yeah, and you pointed out Dorinda just scurrying, trying to finish that lasagna. And then at one point, Dorinda said, I'm going to go watch TV.
I know.
Is this a lock-in?
She was like, I'm going to go watch some Law and Order.
And Carol's buying Christmas presents online. Are we hanging out or are we...
What are we doing?
At work.
It was very strange.
Oh, it's just like too much time in the Berkshires.
Yes, forced to be there. Go out. Meet a mountain man. I don't care. Do something.
Yeah.
It was...
Do something.
Yeah, it was...
And there was a lot of like... the time when Carol and Jules were kind of spying on Luann and Ramona, and they did like a do-si-do and they almost bonked heads. So I was like, what are we? This is like...
It felt like...
Three Stooges.
I don't like when they pretend to be funny or they think they're being funny, just as we didn't like when Kyle... loves to like, oh, look, it's the hotel cart, and like, let's ride around on it. It's just, I don't like when, just be who you are. Don't entertain us. Just do your dance.
And, I do feel badly for Bethany. Not really, but I do, because her whole thing, like she feels that remorse and it's like, she's got to live with that. And I've been there before, but when you explode on someone and then you just sit in that filth of feeling badly.
No.
And I feel like that's her life.
I do, but at least she has. I will say this about Bethany. She knows who she is and she knows some of her problems. So the fact that she acknowledged that she feels that she is sitting in her own filth and she hates it is huge. Some of those women have no acknowledgement of their bad habits. So I feel like the fact that she acknowledged it. Can you imagine the Countess Luann acknowledging any of her shit?
No.
She never does. So at least Bethany's on the way to healing, perhaps. If she,
you're right, because Luann is such a hypocrite for being so nasty to Carol, and then like apparently taking the guy Ramona's dating and all of it.
So I just feel like at least there's growth with Bethany, acknowledgement. Like, some therapy is working. She's seeing her shit.
Yeah, right. You're right. So. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
I might not be right about Hamilton, but I feel like I'm right about this.
Wow. Guys, there's no guest this week.
Oh, yeah. We forgot to mention. We went guestless and pantsless. Casey is sitting here in a beautiful pajamas. Beautiful outfit.
I disappeared after the show and came back down in my pajamas.
I know, I'm still fully dressed.
If we can't be in the pajamas in the Nook, what are we doing?
Guys, thank you.
I have full sunscreen on.
You're really worried about it now even?
The harmful rays at 10 p.m.
This is California. The greenhouse gas effects, guys. Thank you.
Another great week. Loving all your tweets.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone, every last one of you.
Truly. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, April.
Thank you, April.
April's really kind of getting into the swing of the Housewives.
She has comments now. I sort of love it when April speaks up. I'm like, we've got her. We got another one.
Oh, she did want us to bring up the fact that Luann, why were Bethany and Luann talking about each other, literally sitting next to each other, like as close as you would sit on the subway?
Yeah, like it wasn't even in sometimes it happens, it's at least it's in a crowded restaurant, so there's ambient sound.
Hubbub.
A quiet table with 5 people.
All there was like the hum of a little light on one of the Santa's little
and poor Len's footsteps. It was like talking about each other like they're not even there. It's insane.
She's like, she's crazy. What a little slut. The other one's like, I'm right here.
No. And April was like, why are they right next to each other? We're like, we're so used to it that we don't
April, that's what it is.
Get on board. Get on.
Sometimes I think it's like laziness in a way of like the camera's got to reset in the other room. Just like... Go over there.
Just like, well, we got to have this conversation.
And then April always asks the most like sweetly naive questions, like that crazy scene with Luann and Jules when they're smoking outside. She's like, well, I want the camera come around and get them head on. It's like, they're catching what they can, April.
I love them. Keep them coming, April. We love them.
Indeed.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Third Love's 24/7 t-shirt bra is the most comfortable bra I have ever owned.
It's so smoothing and it's invisible under every outfit.
The cups are made out of memory foam.
And it molds to your shape.
And I loved the bra personally because it's so comfortable. I don't even feel like I'm wearing a bra, but it still feels like something's holding these guys up.
Yes, it's light, but it's supportive, Danielle.
And I wore it with a t-shirt.
That's how I feel about you.
Oh, I am light and supportive. Yeah. God bless you.
You really are.
I wore it with a t-shirt and I felt like you couldn't even see it. Which is impressive, like a white t-shirt.
Very impressive. Guys, Third Love stands behind this product so much that they're willing to tell our listeners to try this bra for free.
Just pay for shipping, wear it for 30 days.
You can take the tags off, you can wear it, wash it. Really try the bra out, guys.
If you love it, keep it and they'll charge your card.
If you don't love it, send it back for free and your card will not be charged.
Don't know your size?
That's your problem. Just kidding.
We're kidding. At Third Love, a friendly online fit specialist will help you find the perfect fit.
So go to thirdlove.com/housewives to get started.
Hey, quick, don't turn the podcast off. I know you probably left it on by accident, but I'm Arnie Niekamp from Hello from the Magic Tavern. This is what's going on. About a year ago, I fell through a dimensional portal behind a Burger King into the fantastical land of Foon. I'm joined by my co-host, a talking badger.
Chunt, please.
And a magical wizard.
I am Usador, blue wizard of the 12th realm of Ephesius.
His name goes on a lot longer than that, but we don't have time for it. We interview adventurers, magical creatures, talking animals, and we talk about buttholes a lot. I apologize for that. If that sounds interesting, download Hello from the Magic Tavern.
Aye, and then you can join me in my quest to defeat the Dark Lord. Correct, Arnold?
Correct. Download it on Earwolf, and the entire back catalog is also on the Howl app.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman, Adam Sachs, and Chris Bannon. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.